my pleasure right now to take a moment to award a leader in our community with the Frank Berger Award. This is an annual tradition of the Bay Planning Coalition. The board comes together to select an individual who is truly leading on many of the issues of concern to our entire community. The Frank Berger Award is given each year to an individual who exemplifies the values of the Bay Planning Coalition. Frank Berger was one of the founding members of the Bay Planning Coalition. And this year it's our distinctive pleasure to award the Frank Berger Award to Sam Schuchat. Many of you know Sam, who's the executive director of the State Coastal Conservancy. We've provided an extensive description of all the areas where Sam is engaged, but really the area I think that is most important to us right now is his work on Measure AA. He really led the charge in our region on the Measure AA effort, and as many of you know, the region very successfully voted in favor of essentially taxing ourselves so that we could provide for extensive wetlands restoration throughout the Bay Area, and I think this was a model for the entire country. So when the board of the Bay Planning Coalition came together and deliberated about who really exemplifies the innovation, the vision of the Bay Area in terms of leading on many of the issues that we're concerned about, resiliency, climate change, beneficial reuse, we thought there was no one more fitting this year than Sam Schuchat. So it's my distinct pleasure to welcome Sam to the stage, and I'm going to give you this, this award. So you can show that to everyone.
Here we are.
I think we're gonna take a photo right over here.
Photograph over here.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. There we go. One more.
Nobody uses cameras anymore. It's all just phones. Okay?
Okay, and then Sam, if you would, we'll give you the podium and please say some
Thank
words.
you. Well, thank you all, and thank you for this. It's a real honor, not just, oh, there I am. Thank God we got the new headshots. I was looking over to see the previous winners. It's a real honor to join that list of people who have received this. And anytime an organization establishes an award in the name of one of its founders, you know that it's a very big deal indeed. So I'm really happy and grateful to get this. The Coastal Conservancy has enjoyed a very fruitful working relationship with the Bay Planning Coalition at least since the days of JONC, that's all in caps, and probably from before that, but that's where I came in. BPC in general and John Coleman in particular were early and fervent and strong and helpful advocates for Measure AA. In fact, I think you guys actually endorsed it before we went on the ballot. So when we finally did, you didn't have to revisit that decision. And we're all of us who worked on Measure AA, and it was really a team effort. Are really grateful for your support, and working with BPC and BCDC and a few other organizations. Of course, we were able to get a new pilot program into WRDA last year. That's very exciting because that's going to help with the reuse of dredge material, and that's an example of what you can accomplish when you bring together the whole spectrum of the community here in the Bay Area. I just got back from the National Adaptation Forum held this year in St. Paul, and so this is a meeting, I think it's every other year, of people who are working on adaptation to climate change, and it's a national event. You can tell that we're making a lot of headway because there's now a professional society for adaptation people. It's the American Society of Adaptation Professionals. They give out awards every year, so I think that's a clear sign that we're going to win the battle against climate change. But I was really struck when I was at this meeting. I was there to give a presentation on Measure AA. Really, most of the folks at the meeting and most of the presentations at the meeting were about planning that people were doing and thinking that people were doing, but there weren't a lot of people that were actually doing anything to adapt their particular region, their city, their state, their county to climate change. And it was really great to be from the Bay Area and to know that working with all of you, we are actually doing things on the ground to prepare this region for what we all know is coming. The Restoration Authority right now is working on getting ready to start making grants. The money's going to start to flow from county tax assessors in the fall, and we think we'll have a request for proposals out in September. I want to invite all of you to participate in the process of developing our grant guidelines and the process of developing our RFPs. All of our meetings are in public. We have a very large advisory council. Probably half of you are on it, but for those of you that aren't on it, you know, it's very easy to give us input. You should go to our website, look at the documents. We invite you to comment. It is indeed a very big deal that the whole Bay Area got together to vote on this. Our job now is to make sure that we hit the ground and get some really great projects built in the next 5 years so that people can see that their money is going exactly to what they paid for. And I invite all of you to help us with that. So since I actually hate lunchtime speakers, I'm going to conclude with that. But thank you all so very much for this. It really means a lot to us.